Information literacy differs from these ideals because it is proactive, encourages creative thinking, and equips us to the learning and aptitudes required to use information ethically. Emotional literacy applies to all aspects of our lives and can benefit anyone, the community, and the job. It can change individuals and relationships and is essential to a fulfilled and satisfying life. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to all of us. And now, let's discuss what informational literacy and emotional literacy is. Informational literacy is the ability to recognize what information is required. So, information literacy is the ability to recognize what information is required because information literacy talks about how we handle or how much we know about that specific thing. So this is the time that we know what to do that will be good for us. Next, understand how information is structured. Understanding how the information is structured is part of information literacy, where all information is categorized by its specific category, may be good or not.
So in information literacy, you have to distinguish or differentiate the principal sources of information for a given need, and find and assess those sources critically, then share that information. So you need to look or evaluate those sources so that you can share those information critically and clearly. So here in the graphic organizer are some attributes of information literacy. The first one is identify whether it's true or false that information. Next is find. You need to find where that information came from and then evaluate or analyze it, and then apply, and lastly acknowledge it.
So information literacy helps students in grasping the basics of the internet that are necessary as it aids in academic performance, examining and classifying information so to avoid fake contents on the internet. Developing search queries for students are now ubiquitously learning through browsing the questions and find answers directly on the websites. It helps students by also understanding the justification and components of the citations so to avoid plagiarism and other unethical practices within the internet. Being information literate also means we are able to recognize problems and create questions, make a plan for finding information and solutions, formulate hypotheses and make predictions, find information and data from the books and the internet, and evaluate the credibility of the sources. For example, is the material peer-reviewed or held in the ethical standard, and organize and synthesize all gathered information and to make conclusions and process understanding. And that's how information literacy upgrading individuals' ability to identify, find, evaluate, apply, and acknowledge sources of information as well as its contents.
Emotional literacy is the ability to articulate one's emotional state and convey one's emotions, the capacity to listen to others and empathize, the potential to demonstrate emotions effectively, enhances relationships, generates loving possibilities between people, and encourages the feelings of community. Emotional literacy attributes are self-awareness, empathy, social skills, motivation, and self-regulations. These attributes are holistically modified our emotional quotient to express and understand one's emotions.
Emotional literacy. Emotional literacy student objectives include 1. Knowing your feelings. This is to understand what you feel and how you handle your feelings on any situation you might find yourself in. 2. Having a sense of empathy. This is to understand how others feel and how to interact with them based on what they are feeling. Number 3, learning to direct one's emotions. This is to direct one's emotion towards the things he or she desires or needs. 4, mending emotional damage. This is to help coping up whatever emotional damage one received or inflicted and have the ability to repair those damages.
The 4 R's of emotional literacy. With the help of the 4R of emotional literacy, it improves relationships, creates loving possibilities between people, makes cooperative work possible, and facilitates the feelings of the community. In conclusion, a key component of emotional literacy is the ability to effectively control and communicate one's own emotions while simultaneously being able to recognize and adjust to the feelings of the others. This aids in the growth of improvement of relationships as well as the development of effective communication skills. Thank you.